What's your kryptonite?
Yeah, by the end of this episode, you will learn how to have your own special superhero suit to protect yourself.
Just like Superman.
Yeah, with his lead suit to protect yourself from the kryptonite.
So listen to Get
Real with the English Sisters.
Thank you for your support. We've recently had our 75th episode
Yay!
and we're so happy.
We actually went out to celebrate this morning, didn't we?
It was amazing. So thank you all for your support, for following us on Apple Podcasts and wherever
for all
you get
your downloads.
Podcasts.
Yeah, we really do appreciate it. So let's get right into this then.
I mean, Superman.
Yeah,
I was
I love
always
that
curious
movie.
about the little rock that was the kryptonite.
Were you? And you know what? The interesting fact is that kryptonite actually comes from Superman's original planet.
I know, it's weird. It's like from within yourself, isn't it?
It is a bit.
It's a metaphor for that.
Well, it could be a metaphor for that, yeah. So it's like the very thing that comes from your own planet, can, obviously, I think in the film it was exposed to some kind of radiation or something that turned it, turned it bad. I can't remember it now, but yeah. And so from within ourselves, we can have these kind of mental blocks that can cause us to have like our own kryptonite, our own weaknesses, that can really affect us.
It was funny because the other day my son said to me, "Mum, that's your kryptonite." I go, "What are you talking about?" And it was because I don't like going out around 5 o'clock.
Yes, I do know that.
In the afternoon, just when it's tea time, unless I'm already out. But if I'm at home, I don't like planning my day. So if I'm working from home, I don't like planning my day and going out at 5. And sometimes, obviously, you have to. And that's always when, oh no, I don't want to go out. And so my son said, "That's your kryptonite, Mum."
Yeah, it did make us think about it. Yeah, and then it made us have the episode, idea for this podcast because it is quite funny. But in the end, it's true though, isn't it?
Because I always
is that because it's like a trigger for you?
As strong at that time of day. I like to be out in the morning or in the evening.
Yeah.
Because I suppose it's because it's what we're used to.
It's just patterns of behaviour.
So is the kryptonite also, is it a bit tricky? Can it be a bit sneaky? Can it also be what you're used to? So it's your own patterns of behaviour that you're not aware of, but that's actually causing your weakness, your pattern of behaviour.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like just because it's a habit, so it's just become something that you pose your own limitations on. So you think, I'm not used to going out at that hour. It's either before or after. So you form this kind of habit and you're familiar with that and you don't want to break it. Yeah. So by breaking it, it makes you
feel a bit vulnerable.
Feel weak, and you don't want to do that. So that is something I think we can become aware of. Why are we particularly weak and kind of feel that we don't have our normal power? Is it just out of habit? That is an interesting.
Not just out of habit, but I think out of habit is the one that you probably wouldn't think of as kryptonite.
What's that?
It's like the unusual one.
Yeah.
It's like the black sheep in the thing, if you can get my meaning.
No.
Because normally your kryptonite would be like something, say something you don't like doing, wouldn't it? But not because you're not.
I don't know if that's like what I was meaning by kryptonite. I mean, I think it could, like your kryptonite could be issues handling money, relationship problems, a fear of failure, past regrets, overeating, for example. That could be your kryptonite, or just procrastination. Like what we've said many, many times. That could be like
chocolate. We once had that client. Do you remember?
Well, yes.
She had,
that was her kryptonite.
She had the kryptonite. As soon as she would see chocolate, she couldn't stop eating.
Yes, that was like her big weakness. So, having these kind of issues can really stop you leading your best life. But I think that once, as usual, you become aware of what your kryptonite is.
It's all about
Like,
awareness.
for example, yours is just this. It's not. It doesn't really affect your life that much, but maybe it does in a more subtle way.
Of course, it affects it because it doesn't affect me now because I'm aware of it, especially since my son pointed it out.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to let it beat me.
You're going to say,
I
"Who
will
cares?"
plan things at 5 o'clock.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
Yeah,
Just
and
5
I
o'clock.
was thinking, why 5 o'clock? And I was thinking probably because when we were little, 5 o'clock was bedtime. Everything
Bedtime.
Well, more or less.
Yeah.
When we were tiny, I'm talking about 6.
That was a long
Do you
time
remember
ago.
we used to think Mum would put us in our bed, which was the front room then, because we didn't have a proper bedroom.
No.
And we would go into the little front room and play our little games, and it was 5 o'clock, and I remember it still being
5
light.
o'clock was like tea time, not when we were young.
When we were little.
No, not when we were.
Well, it was like supper time.
Really? Gosh.
Yeah, when we were really little back in the day.
Yeah,
it was after school. Well, we didn't go to school, preschool.
Oh, is that when you're talking about?
When
Right.
we were really little. And then I remember like after.
Do you think
like
the habit
6
has formed
o'clock.
from such a long time ago?
I don't know, but after, I mean, this is a bit fickle. This one,
Yeah, it's fickle.
It's a bit of a laugh.
It's
but
a laugh. Yeah,
it's not really.
Exactly, it's not really. You have to try
And my real kryptonite, which is not really, well, it is my weakness, would be driving at night, the same as yours.
Yeah, but I think there's a real reason to that. It's because we can't see properly.
Yeah, I know.
I feel like I really can't see
Wasn't
properly.
it funny that after we did all our studies, we could see okay? I mean, now I can't because I've had
the retinal detachment.
But before, it was a bit of a
mental block.
A mental block,
yeah,
wasn't
you're
it?
right.
But it's also realistic because we live in the country.
But it's also habit.
There's no
It's
lighting.
habit, though. It's habit. You're right. Because if you had to drive at night every day for work or something,
for work, I would just have to get used to it and drive slowly.
When we had the conference in Pisa, we just drove at night, and we were surprised to say
we were struggling a lot.
Yeah, but we did it. We did it, and we overcame that, and it was like
we overcame many
we did
things.
not let the kryptonite within us affect us. But yeah, if you think about what your kryptonite is, you'd be surprised to find that once you know what it is, you really can have like. It no longer disarms you. Yes, you can have the lead suit and you can think, okay, I can like just imagine putting my lead suit on now, and you can have that barrier of protection and get all your powers back. And your kryptonite could be somebody in a relationship, for example. It could be a member of your family. It could be that you just feel particularly vulnerable or weak around. It could be somebody at work.
Yeah.
You've got to try. I mean, ours is like Violetta was talking about, particular time in the day, but it could be something else that you could think, okay, that's my kryptonite. Yeah, I figured it out. I bet you anyone listening to this knows what their kryptonite is.
I'm just thinking that some people's kryptonite would be alcohol.
Well, yes, it's more or less the same as overeating, yes, over drinking, exactly.
Yeah.
And so knowing that we're like talking about an addiction here, but knowing how to protect yourself.
Yeah, but it might not be at levels of addiction.
Exactly.
I'm not talking about alcoholism. I'm talking about you might just have one too many too often, and
make you feel weak
about it.
And it makes you feel weak
and vulnerable.
And vulnerable, yeah.
And you might get into tricky situations because of it afterwards, into situations that you might not have really wanted to be in.
And so they cause regret.
Yeah, they cause regret.
A lot of
problems.
regret, yeah. So yeah, I think once you're aware of it, you can put your lead suit on, and you can get, you can imagine superhero within you, and I bet you it will work because it's worked on us, and we've done it.
You can say no to things, can't you? When you've got your lead suit on.
When you've got more protection, you can definitely say no.
Say no or say yes?
Yeah, I mean, here I was reading about kryptonite, and it said it can also be something that would make you particularly susceptible to sickness. So we could also think of it as something like within our health. What is your kryptonite? Yeah, like my son, for example, he can't have air conditioning. If he goes near air conditioning in the car, or, if it's quite strong, he'll immediately get like a terrible throat ache.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But is
sore
that 'cause he
throat.
was born premature, do you think?
I have no idea, but that could be like his kryptonite.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I always tell him.
And you get headaches, don't you? And I used to get a lot of migraines and that when I was stressed.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't anymore, but I used to.
Yeah.
So that would have been my kryptonite for
the
health.
migraines, yeah.
The
My other
migraines.
son suffers from migraines, definitely, yeah. I actually asked him today, what's your kryptonite? He said migraines. Because that's something that will immediately...
It's amazing how your body will take on what you can't deal with mentally, and it'll become a physical thing.
Yeah. And you know, kryptonite is within the Superman film and the cartoon and everything. It was so potentially dangerous that it could actually, kill them, and it caused excruciating pain. So it's something I think we can all relate to. We know what that thing is, that especially if it's an important issue that does cause us emotional pain, and it could be something that might not be really painful, but it's just niggling at us every day, that it makes you kind of feel a bit sick in your stomach, like you know what it is.
I think that's the most dangerous, isn't it?
Yeah, because it's continuous.
It's not just a one-off thing.
Exactly. It's like you enter the workspace and you see that person, and all of a sudden it's like the green stone, kryptonite, da 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 da, and you really, our suggestion
you're
is
completely disarmed, aren't you?
that's it. Whereas before you might have felt quite okay, your base kind of feeling was normal and that, but then you kind of get that niggly thing. And what happens is the other person can unconsciously detect that you're feeling that way and may start
acting up even more, I think.
Well, yeah, it's a bit like blackmailing, emotional kind of. I want to discuss that in another podcast, but yes, it's kind of.
It's a play of power. It's a power play.
It's a trigger, isn't it? They can sense the weakness. It's like when you say, It's
like with animals.
Exactly. Don't let the animal.
Don't let the dog know that you're scared.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, that's what our mum used to say. Do you remember when we were really little? Once again, we're always talking about that. But yeah, she would say, don't let the dog know that you're so scared. Just continue walking. Don't run. And be calm and stay collected, and you'll be fine. Because in those days, along our little streets,
there was lots of dogs.
There were so many, and they did not have leashes on them because
they were just,
in the
they just used to let them out.
Late 70s, early 80s. Yeah, they would just be out on the road, the dogs. So we were scared of them because when you're not very tall, even a medium-sized dog seems a bit of a threat. And anyway,
even a little dog. I used to be, when I was at uni, I would be terrified of a little dog. It would be so ferocious every time I'd walk past. And he was inside a little garden, but the fence was very low, and
loud noise.
He or she could have gotten out.
Exactly.
So I was scared.
Also, because we didn't grow up with dogs.
No, we didn't know much about them.
Then now, later on as adults, we've had dogs and we love them dearly, and we've learned a lot about their behaviour and how they communicate with us. Yeah, so their kind of communication. But we did not know about dogs, and so they were like a
bit of a mystery, weren't they?
They were a bit of a mystery, and I've lost my train of thought now.
Because you're thinking of Otto, probably.
Yeah, your little doggy, yeah.
How cute he is.
Yeah. He's adorable.
He'll bark when he's frightened.
Yeah, so if you don't know how they communicate, you can be more scared of them. So if you do see somebody that is your kryptonite, it could be just a question that you're not understanding their communication as well. A bit like us with the dogs when we were young. It could be that. Or they could
be aggressive.
Be a bit aggressive, and you might make you feel weak and vulnerable and disarmed. So take a moment. Take a moment. If you can, step outside somewhere else, move away from them physically just for a little second if you can. Otherwise, you can just blink for a second. They won't even notice it. You put your special lead suit on in your imagination. Just visualize it,
And take a deep breath.
Take a deep breath. put the suit on
Center yourself.
and center yourself, and then you come back. This could just take like 10 seconds. Super. And you come back with all your superpowers.
Yay!
And you can then, be ready, fully armed in a way, to deal with whatever's going to come to you, whatever that person may say to you, and it won't make you feel vulnerable.
No.
I wish I'd learnt this when I was younger, because every time I would be faced with authority,
I was frightened of authority.
I was really frightened of it, and that would be my kryptonite. I would just be so terrified of it. Like if I was ever called in, when I used to be an air hostess, and they would call me in to the, the offices, and I would be like, that I would feel so vulnerable and so weak within me. I wish I'd known about this superpower.
I think it was a lack of confidence as well, or a fear.
I was frightened of authority. Authority was my
I think
kryptonite.
it was because our parents were immigrants, like what you said, and Mum had escaped from Franco.
From the Civil War in Spain.
Well, it was after the Civil War,
Yeah,
but when they had
was
the right-wing dictatorship, she managed to get out when Franco was a bit more lenient, and he let her out. Not just her, he said people could emigrate.
Really?
To London.
Yeah, I didn't actually realise that.
She came to London, and then Dad as well. He was a Hungarian refugee. So it's like what we said when we went back to Hungary, even though afterwards when he had a British passport and everything, how terrified he still was they weren't going to let him out.
So do you think this is all connected to our fear of authority in a way? Like the government...
the authority was bad. It wasn't there to help you. It was a bad authority.
Gosh, you're right. I never thought about it like that.
Well, they grew up... They were in countries that had to escape from authority. It wasn't like the authority was protecting them like you'd expect it to.
No, yeah, you're right. And then at school as well, authority wasn't always very good, especially, for me, I didn't, I did not. Anyway, yeah. So that could be, if I'd known about that, I would have really been able to, so I hope any one of you, doesn't matter whatever age you are, you really do get this message. You can really change your state of mind so quickly. Please do not underestimate this. It can really change your life. If you do learn to metaphorically put that lead suit on, you will be protected. You can face the kryptonite, you can face your fears, and you can come out stronger from it.
Well, you'll always be stronger once you face your fears.
You will, yes. And it doesn't have to make you feel sick or vulnerable or frightened.
And obviously do things that, ecological and sensible, because obviously if you're, you have to be reasonable as well. If you're like what our father was, you can't go and, against the whole regime or something and be, do something defiant that's going to get you into trouble. You can, but you have to think about the consequences.
Well,
don't you? In those serious situations.
I know what you mean, yes, but I wasn't actually talking about those extreme situations.
No, there are many people that are in these extreme situations as well, and there's sometimes
be careful,
you
please.
have to put your lead suit on and
stay calm
and
think about protecting
quiet.
Yourself. Yes, please do. Put the lead suit on, but use your inner power
to stay strong and
and
do
wise.
What's best for you.
Be brave, but be wise about it. Be careful. If you are in a situation where you think, your kryptonite could be...
Yeah, because I'm thinking as well, some women or men, they can get themselves into difficult situations now when they're dating and into quite dangerous...
in those kind of relationships.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about that now. It's just come to mind, and you can maybe go to someone's house and be in a really tricky situation because that is like your kryptonite. You maybe want affirmation, you want confirmation that you're loved, and you might get yourself into a difficult situation that you wouldn't really want to be in. So then, our advice is to, stay calm and, get out of there quietly and quickly as well as you can.
So I don't really understand what do you mean
But
by
I'm
that? Can
thinking
you
that,
explain
like,
it
yes,
further?
I'm thinking like that sometimes, especially in the dating game now, it's so quick and furious.
Okay.
You might go on a date and then say
Not
the other
want to have, like,
person
a
might
sexual
want to have a
relationship.
sexual relationship with you, and you
You
might
don't
think,
want
this
it.
isn't right, I'm not ready for this, I don't
Okay.
want this. But you might already be in that person's house, whether you're male, female, or other. You might be there. And you might
Feel
think, feel
pressurized.
pressurized,
Right,
and
okay.
no, but it could even turn out to be violent, like we've
Oh,
heard.
yes,
We have
yeah.
had so many cases like this. So just keep calm, put your lead suit on, and think of a way
Cleverly of how to get
of
out.
getting out of there.
Yeah, definitely. You have to learn to be clever in those situations. Yeah, yeah. But I think if
Be
you
aware.
be aware that
Be aware that if you be aware that this is your kryptonite, this is your weakness, and make sure you're not in that vulnerable situation. So always say, go with a person, go with someone else. If you're going to go and meet someone in a safe place. Don't go back to their place.
because knowing that your kryptonite, your
Yes.
weakness is the desire to be loved no matter what cost.
Yes.
You can find yourself in these
very difficult
because
situations.
if somebody tells you you're beautiful and that they desire you, that could be your weakness. You may have a strong desire for attention, for love, for somebody to look at you in a particular way. And yes,
And you
that
can
be
get
very
into
tricky.
Also, not just like on a one-off, but you can also get into tricky situations by dating a person and going in too quick and too fast, like committing
right.
to them too quickly, maybe
Because
committing
of
to
your
marriage
desire
too
for
quickly within maybe a
for
period of
love.
6 months, saying that you love that person too quickly without actually fully, like,
Understanding, yeah.
who that person really is. You're just making someone up in your mind that you want that person to be, kind of thing.
Yeah,
And
you're
then,
romanticizing the person in your mind.
So that could be your
Yeah.
kryptonite. Your kryptonite could be, I want to get, be
You're
in
too
a
much of a
stable,
romantic in
too
a
much
way.
of a
Yeah,
romantic,
too
yeah.
much. Yeah, you have to watch out for that as well. That's actually quite common. you
Very
know.
common.
Yeah. Watch out for that too. Yeah, that is common. I hadn't actually thought of it like that. I know that kryptonite can be like, for some people it could be, even somebody they dearly love. It could be like a mother figure. That could be, every
Yeah,
time
that's-
they come and they see their parents, their mum, whoever it is, it's like makes them feel vulnerable, makes them feel weak, because they could have received criticism and constant judgment from mum or dad or whatever. So yeah, with sons sometimes it's their father figure.
It is.
It is. So yeah, I think if you're aware of it, you put your suit on and you've
then
got that power.
You know what to do, don't you? You know how to do the next step. You won't be in that vulnerable situation, because the thing is that once you are in the vulnerable situation, it's going to get you the kryptonite. It's going to make you feel weak. But if you already know about it in advance,
You can
you're
be
aware
prepared.
of it, you
Well,
can avoid it.
You suit
Or
up, don't you?
do it.
You literally suit
Yeah.
up. You've got your protection with you, your inner mental protection.
Yeah. Or you can choose as well just to avoid that situation as well, if that's what's best for you.
Exactly. You can say, well, at the moment, I'm not going to go and
Like
see
for me,
that
the 5 o'clock
person.
thing is
That's
it's
your
a
kryptonite.
trivial thing, and I've decided that I will suit up for that, and I will go and do things at 5,
Yeah,
and not
especially
make
now,
a big deal
yes.
about it.
Yeah, depending on the weather as well, isn't
Yes,
it? Like,
not make a big deal about it.
Yeah.
But if for you, that for me, that would be a good thing, I think, for my mental health.
yeah, that's a bit of a block, isn't
Yes,
it?
it's
Yeah,
a little
it's a bit of a
block.
habit. Yeah,
It's a habit, it's a block, so I
Yeah.
can get rid of that. I can say goodbye to that
You can
block.
say goodbye to that
But
right now.
but if it's something that's going to be harmful or dangerous to you, and it's not going to be beneficial to you, you can just maybe avoid that situation altogether.
Absolutely.
Knowing that it's your kryptonite.
Knowing, exactly.
Knowledge is power.
Knowledge is power. Awareness is power.
Self-awareness is power.
Total power. That's
power.
really going
That's
to
the
make you the
superpower.
superpower. Yeah, the superhero within
So
you.
let us know what your kryptonite is, and if you enjoy this episode, please do come and follow us on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts for free, and please do leave a review as well, because they really help others find us.
Find us, yeah, absolutely.
And come and watch us on YouTube too. Come and say hi.
Lots of love and smiles from the
the
English sisters.